Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Spider-Man slash Through the Omenpaths draft here on Arena. We'll be using the Arena versions of the cards, but there are paper versions that are the Spider-Man ones. Shout out to Wizards of the Coast for giving me access to this streamer event so I could get this recorded for you early for free. That's really awesome. And yeah, we're going to be going through its pick 2 drafts. We get to make 2 picks out of each pack. We'll be explaining how that works as we go. And let's dive on in. If you want to see a draft guide, I have one of those made already with top commons, archetype overviews, things like that. There are only 5 archetypes in this set. So there is a red-green deck that cares about being like big spells, things that cost more than 4 mana. There is a deck that cares about discarding cards and like casting them from the graveyard in red-black. There is a blue-black deck that cares about conniving and having villains. We've opened up one of the best possible cards for that. We're going to just be taking these 2. There is a green-white deck that cares about casting like spiders and like web slinging them. So like you play a cheap creature, and if it gets tapped, you can cast your web slingers for cheaper and get them back to your hand. And then there's a blue-white deck that cares about putting counters on your creature. So this is the type of card you might care about for that deck. But we're going to be taking the Watcher on the Road. So when it enters, you get a 3/3 blue illusion villain creature for each non-token villain you control. And then if the Watcher on the Road dies, then you lose those. And we're also going to be taking Vexed Bots, which is another card that goes perfectly into the villain's strategy. Because when a villain enters, we get a counter. So if you have both these in play, you're going to get a giant villain. With the pick 2 draft strategy, you can take 2 cards that synergize well together. You could also take 2 cards that are like objectively both powerful. Like so taking like the Watcher on the Road and also taking like Zakao, Predation the Shadow, and be like, okay, if Watcher doesn't work out, Zakao might work out. But I think here Watcher is good enough that I want to bias towards that deck. So taking the Vex spots alongside it is pretty nice. In this pack, what do we see here? The blue-black deck, there's nothing crazy for me. There's a land I could use in the blue-black deck. There's a Merciless Enforcers I could use in the blue-black deck. What else is in the pack? Our rare is somewhat useless. It's like an artifact payoff card, and there's not really an artifact deck in this set. So that's worth noting. This card's a 2/1 that you can ping your opponent, which is pretty reasonable. It's also a villain. This land gives you some surveil value. Nothing crazy here. We might take Knife Trick, which is a way to get like a 3-mana deal 3 into our deck. And this card's pretty giant. Galvanized Workforce is pretty nice. Let's take Merciless Enforcers and Knife Trick. We could pivot towards a red-black deck using the Knife Trick more effectively. I don't think we want to take the land quite yet. Okay. Now I am going to take another Vexed Bots and probably the Arala Hedron Scaler. So a nice little flyer that then you can, if it gets to your graveyard, you can use it to give something else flying. So just sticking to blue. Vexed Bots is really good with you if you have villains. Blue-black has tons of villains. This is a villain. There is another Knife Trick. I don't think you want more than one of these unless you're playing the red-black deck that cares about discarding things. And then, like, Tethek's Gift of Malice is also a fine option. Just like something, if it gets to your graveyard, gives you some more value. But I'd rather take the blue version of that effect for now. Okay, seeing Diligent Webkeepers is kind of insane. Not really a card we can splash, but putting a counter on each other creature is pretty great. Blue-green. Making our other artifacts into 3/3s with this guy. I think we might just take this guy and Diligent Webkeepers. Keep our options open to blue, to going black or just going blue-white. Black would probably be better for the villain synergies, but this is kind of crazy. We see Chizak and Zakao, so both those still in the pack. Yeah, I guess if red-green's open, red-green's open, but we're kind of far from that. Let's just take the 2 guys. Another green card, but it's not a very good one, so we'll just take a couple random cards. Last pick, Chizak. So green is looking quite open here, but we could still build our blue-black deck. We'll have to see what feels the most open. Black has not seemed open. I don't think we're going to play a black deck. We have the Vexed Bots, but I think blue wasn't the most open either. This card's not the greatest. This card's medium, not the best either. So we have, potentially we could play green, Ed, but I don't know. It was kind of a weird draft so far. Let's just go into green here. Take these two cards. This card is a 2/2 that can grow. This one is a vehicle that can fix our mana, so we might have to go a little bit more clunky in this draft because we didn't have a smooth lane to a blue-black deck or something. Beautiful. We are getting paid off a little bit for being into this red-green deck. This card's very, very strong. I could have taken a Gallant Citizen last pack at some point, but green-white did not seem like a spot I wanted to end up. I think red-green's where I want to end up here. Boris the Spider Rider is really great. Leyline Weaver is really great. Eccentric Arachnologist, if I could wheel this, would be perfect for my deck. Let's just look at my curve real quick. Yeah, we don't really have, like, we got really biased because we opened a really good rare for blue-black / just like a blue deck in general. And now we're kind of in a dicey shape. But we could take, I think we take Leyline Weaver. We need more 2-drops that are good. And this card might wheel. I don't think it will, but it might. Perfect. Zan Tunneler is huge because this could help us fix our mana. We're in definitely a spot where we can get some shenanigans going. White. We're not really a green-white spot here. Let's just take the Gallant Citizen, I guess, because it's a green card. Perfect. So now we keep getting Vine-Woven Chariots. The Vine-Woven Chariots are going to help us play our strong cards, even the ones that are off color. Turning non-equipment. So yeah, green is looking quite open. So there's way less packs open. So sometimes you end up in these scrappy situations. Beautiful. We're just getting every green card opened at the table. This card's actually okay. I think we'd rather have that than Ancestral Carving. I don't really like this. This plays really well with the vehicles we have as well. Yeah, I think this is better. Perfect. Nice. So we have... Oh, we don't even get to look. We have 9 spiders. So honestly, the spider card could have been okay. I just didn't get to look because you have like no time to check your packs. I don't really want Generous Betty Ray, but yeah, I took... I wanted the Arachnologist, but maybe instead of this, I could have taken the 4-mana card that makes my spiders a bit better. Here we're going to take Favored Fighter. And we might splash black for removal spells. This guy's pretty good, though. We probably just take this guy. This is good for our fixing and stuff. This card's pretty powerful if we can use it. I think we're just building a red-green deck that splashes something. I don't want to splash this necessarily, though. Let us actually try the splash of the Soulstone / Terminus of Return. Beautiful. We get Krenz. This is Miles Morales. Really strong card. Also get... Rouse the Swarm's going to wheel like we already saw. Reality Fulcrum can only cast spells from exile. This can return a villain. How many villains do we have? 8 villains. But that includes all these blue cards that we're not playing. Let's just get a shock. But we're splashing white and we're trying to splash. This land would be pretty good for us, honestly. But we're trying to splash white and black at this point. Though we don't really have black cards we care about now that we have better white cards to splash. Yeah, let's just take the Dreadfang and the Favored Fighter. Beautiful. We get this. We get another 2-drop. Looking good for us. So we can cut Merciless Enforcers. Perfect. We get the Vine-Woven Chariot back. And we did wheel the Rouse the Swarm as expected. We'll see if we want this. Crazy. This was a weird draft. Oh my gosh, it was weird. I think we ended up in an okay spot, though. I wish we had another Rouse the Swarm, because we ended up with a lot of spiders. 10 spiders. So, giving them on +1/+1 seems okay. So we have 50 cards here. We're cutting all the blue ones, that's for sure. We don't want blue. We don't want random black cards either. We just want the Terminus of Return and the Miles as splash cards. So, this card can get white mana. This can be 2 sources of white mana. This can be 2 sources of white mana. This can get, yeah, let's just play 1 swamp, 1 plains, because that gives us a lot of sources. 9, 15, 16, 17. Pretty good. I don't want to play Steel Web Surveyor. I don't think it's worth playing. This is really a 3-drop. We have a lot of 3-drops. Yes, interesting, interesting. So this is a kill spell. We don't have a ton of kill spells, honestly. I don't love this card. Let's just cut the Ancestral Carvings. So we can cut those 2. Spider count is at 9 still. Still don't know if I want the Rouse the Swarm. Creature count at 20. We can cut some creatures, especially some random ones. I mean, we have some really good creatures, though. I don't think I need Lurking Lizards. It's pretty reasonable in my deck, though. It grows pretty easily. Let's got 1 Vine-Woven Chariot. And then we can cut 1 land and cut 1 Chizak because it's a legendary, and 1 more cut to go. This is a 2-drop. Remember, I was just sorting it accordingly. Let's not play the plains. Let's just rely on our treasure token or eccentric guy. And cut another Chizak, perhaps. Cut a Gallant Citizen. Let's just try cutting a Gallant Citizen. We'll see how that feels. And then we can run it like this for now. And yeah, this feels like we've got to be, yeah, we don't have a ton of interaction, so I'm interested to see how this feels when we're playing the games. Our 3-drop slot is pretty crowded. As we get into the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all the people supporting my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you enjoy the work I do and my mission to make draft more accessible for everyone, Patreon is the place to give back to the channel and help me make more videos and also gain access to some cool bonus content. I also want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a huge difference. Okie doke. My lighting. Our hand is pretty good. I like it. We have Miles. We have the treasure to flip it. I know I'm saying Miles, it's technically Kren, but in person this is Miles Morales, so it's kind of fun. Okay, so they're playing red-black. This is perfect for us because Gallant Citizen is the card that absolutely decimates what they're doing here. Because this thing is such a good trade for us. Okay, they kill our Gallant Citizen. We get a 2-for-1. We're pretty okay with that. Okay, we will play land, and we will play Lurking Lizards. Blocks both their guys pretty reasonably. Next turn we will play our favored fighter. It'll buff this thing to a 2/4. Green feels quite strong. My 2-drop is crushing theirs right now. Okay, sure. Once again, they have to keep having removal spells or I'm just going to be able to win this. I have to keep my life total high, though, because I can't kill Merciless Enforcer. Okay, sure. Has to attack. And then they'll deal 5 to me at some point. That's a bummer. So I can web this thing back, or I could just play this thing. Let's just play it. I could have buffed the favored fighter. That would have been better than buffing the eccentric arachnologist, I think. Because this thing's going to be tapping for mana a lot of the time, I think. Yeah, I should have buffed favored fighter. That would have been better. Okay, they're almost out of action. Okay, that's terrifying. We really want to end this game. And we're doing this because now if we draw land... Yeah, if we put the counter on the favored fighter, we would have been in way better shape. But now next turn, if we draw a land, we can flip Kren. Double the number of each kind of counter on each spider and legendary creature. Every spell they draw is doubled right now, which is crazy. Okay. Play this. Flip this guy. This isn't a spider, though. Does it have vigilance? No. But he has 2 counters on it, so he'll be doubled then. If they drew a kill spell, they drew a kill spell, but... So if I attack with everything, this guy doubles his counter, so he'll be 8 power. Let's just hold back a blocker. Why not? So they have to block. Because I'm thinking about ways I lose. It's like they ping, they... Yep. If I draw a land, I can get this thing going. Putting the counter on this guy would have been so much better. It's just scuppering me at the moment. I could have done like 2 more damage to them. And the 2/3 could still block their guys. Okay. And if I attack with this thing, they gain 2 life anyway, so that's kind of a... Yeah. Sure. Target creature can't block. So I can stop my guy from blocking anyway. That's a bummer. Oh, when you cast it from anywhere other than your hand. Oh, I definitely misread that card. So like if you mayhem a card. This should get the job done. So they have to block Kren, which we already knew. So they block here, block here, block here actually. Yep. If I lose this game, I'm going to be in shambles. Boom! Got the win. Miles Morales carrying me to victory there. Honestly, that was a team effort. I do not have a lot of interaction. Just have to rely on my giant creatures carrying me to victory. Let's keep it rolling. No planes, but plenty of ways to flip him. Maybe we should play planes. Just so we can search it up. Because it feels like we're keeping our splash dicey. Honestly, we could probably play a treasure generator instead of a swamp. And then we don't need to play the chariots as much. Because I don't really like the chariot. Maybe that's better. I kind of like that idea. We have so many creatures. We're not going to miss with our look at the top 5 one. So like instead of playing a swamp to play our random guy, we can use treasures to play it. And so we just get rid of Vine-Woven Chariots. We get rid of this Wardens of the Silverweb Summit because we don't really need that. Because if we don't have the ways to tap it, it's not going to be as good. Spider count at 7 now, so we don't really need to rouse the swarm as much anymore. We add in Chizak, Gallant Citizen, 2 Ancestral Carvings, cut Swamp for another Forest. Because we're mostly green. We're like very heavy green. And then we run it like this. And we rely on our treasure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of a 5th source for our colors. Which is, and then we have the 2. Yeah, so we have kind of a dicey mana situation, but it seems like it could get the job done. And at the very least, I want to try it this way for at least a game. So we'll see how that feels. I guess the Soul Stone, or whatever it's called in Arena, gets a lot worse if we don't have a black source. Because then we can't activate it consistently. Okay, this is pretty good. We need to draw one of our red sources, but we're going to be able, we'll have like 5 draw steps at it. And that is the perfect card to draw because it lets us cast a red spell without needing red. Bellion the Parched. I would have loved to play Gallant Citizen there, but I need to make sure I have red mana. And I'm totally going all in on this thing. Skix the Augmenter, sure. So if they have a kill spell, I'm kind of toasted here. But this card's huge. A bummer. And this card's a huge issue. I'm not going to be able to do much about this for a little bit. Not good. Let's just do this. That's pretty reasonable. Only... We're kind of in dicey shape. Not having a mountain has been pretty bad for us. We kind of want them to go for their Skix Augmenter onto their Wonder Weave Aerialist at some point. This draft format on Arena is like, I'm not going to say needlessly punishing, but it is very punishing. Because you only get 2 losses to give. It's kind of supposed to be a quicker format, I think. But losing random games to like never drawing them out. I mean, we only have 6 red sources. We probably should fix that to some degree. Okay, this is really bad. Yeah, we couldn't have done much about that. So they draw a card. We need to hit a land drop here. Instead, we do not. Oh, that's so bad. Yep, we're dead. We're so dead. Because if we'd been able to play our Chizak, we could have been fine. Instead, they're just going to keep running the table with hitting us, and we just die. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Next game. Next game. We never drew our second color or a treasure token maker or... Yeah. Honestly, 5th land would have gotten us the job done too. Though they would have then tapped our guy. So let's add this. So this thing needs us to tap it and do that. I don't know if splashing black for that is even worth it. Let's just not splash black. Let's just add a plains. And run this guy. No, add. No, we don't need the plains if we're only splashing the 1 card. Let's add. Our spider count is at 8. Buffing up all our spiders seems pretty reasonable. Or this guy. Let's do it like this. Our creature count is at 19, so our ancestral carvings should still be pretty reasonable. Maybe we cut one of these for one of these. Yep, okay. Julio. Though I guess ancestral carvings does kind of want us to be able to find miles and stuff. Splashing black for the rock seems interesting. Ooh, playing against Kenji, always fun. I always want to beat him, so we'll be trying our hardest. Of course, horrifically bad hand. Like, not keepable remotely. Oh, man. And we're on the draw. Okay, we can keep this, though. This is much better. Though, honestly, not by much. This hand is still pretty bad. We ditch Rouse the Swarm. We just have no early game. Our deck is filled with early game stuff. It's just... That card is so irritating to deal with. My gosh. We are in trouble. Green, white, and then they get to bounce it back. No, okay. Okay, that's actually really good for us. We kind of needed that to happen, honestly. Because we couldn't kill this thing. It's because of the ward. Sure. We're still in trouble, I would say. That thing hits like a truck. Let's just hope they have nothing here. I mean, it's unlikely, but, you know, you do your best. No! Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's so bad. It's just gonna be a 6-8. So I attack. I could bounce this. I could use this to bounce this back to my hand if I really needed the treasure again. I don't think I want that, though. Let's just do this. And we can double block this guy. Okay, okay. I really wanted to draw land there. Okay. So, out of gas kind of over here. Sure. If I draw a land here, it would be really good. Okay, that's not a land. That is going to be incredible. Okay, I think we're in this. Okay, sure. Oh, that's bad. No blocks. We'll just take a giant hit there. I would love if I could just draw one land at some point in my life, but it's okay. We'll be fine. This thing's coming down. And then we will go to combat and attack with these two. We're planning on just chump blocking with our gallant citizens for a little bit. Could we have won if we just attacked with everyone? I don't think so. Because they just go block, 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 yeah. Dang it. Well, there goes our chances of victory. It's hilarious because if we had drawn a land to play this guy, oh, he doesn't have reach. He does Vigilant Triple Haste. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. Oh my goodness, I felt like we were in such good shape. Man, maybe we were supposed to chump block this the turn before, so this couldn't kill us. Feels like adding all the power. I mean, they were dead next turn. Like, even if they play a creature here, we attack with everything, deal 2 to them. They were at 6 before, remember, so like, they go like block, 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 they take 6, or they play another creature, they block, and they're dead. But yep, they got us, and we are 1-2, and we're out of the draft, which is unfortunate because our deck was really sweet. You got to see it kind of in action in game 1, but super punishing format here. Didn't really get to showcase its stuff, but the deck was pretty cool. I felt like we were very narrowly not able to win that game. Ancestral Carvings, if it had been, I don't know. I don't think we had, like, it was mostly just like the way the draw lined up. We didn't have a ton of removal spells. Super close game. Yeah, this thing, it's not like we attacked with a reach creature, right? No, we attacked with this guy, and he had vigilance even, but gosh, that's super rough. I mean, they killed our Chizak, and that was really the bummer, but oh well. If you made it to the end of the video, in the comments section down below, leave hashtag Miles, because even though this is Kren here, Miles was responsible for our 1 win. It was a pretty sweet card. I think this deck could have easily done much better, but you saw how the games went. It was not meant to be. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks again to Wizards for giving me a account in this event, and I'll talk to you next time.